G'day, have I got a story for you? Check the disclaimer. Season 1, Episode 60, Giggles. This episode was written and narrated by Laura Reily Truth.
It looks like little sweetheart needs no help to stay awake. She's already scanning for people to rescue on other levels. I need her awake so I can speak to Stella in her thoughts. We've done this before. Many times. Stella and I are friends. Hey there, Bright Spark, I say in her thoughts. In the mood for some people rescuing? I can feel her smile on the inside.
Hello, Giggles. Am I ever not in the mood?
Looks like the perfect time for a cell bust. I grin. This is our favourite pastime. Well then, let's talk game plan. There are 2 rooms on this level called the cells. These rooms hold a great many people who have been brought from other floors. Some are recently captured, but most are people who have been through multiple experiments elsewhere and have outlived their usefulness, according to the scientists. How can people speak about others like this with no care at all, no empathy? These people are brought to this floor in order that the various scientists in these rooms will have quick access to slabs for their fatal experiments. These scientists discard these people in the hall without care, intending for them to be taken to the furnace, even if they are still alive. Stella often helps these people when they are close to death, but today we have a better plan. The cells are so full today. The people inside are all pressed up tight against the walls and each other, no room to move, unable to sit. They will likely fall out of the door when it opens if they are not prepared. This is a very good day for a cell break. Stella pulls out the schedule and looks over the pages. I watch as she shows me in her mind. She and I memorize everything that is relevant for today. Using Little Sweetheart's ability, I look through the minds of everyone on this floor and any others who may come to this floor performing their duties. I need to ensure they are all following the schedule and have no plans to deviate. There appear to be a couple of outliers. One cleaner who is looking to rendezvous with a copy he enjoys berating, and one scientist who appears to have plans to visit a child while they are unsupervised during an experiment. Seems like our plans will also prevent those 2 activities. Not happening today. The next step is to notify Cassandra. We need to coordinate a time that will work best for our schedule here and the timing of everything at the hospital. This will be a lot of people coming through all at once. Timing is very important, so as the portals are not observed by anyone, and so the people do not seem to appear from nowhere. Cassandra, Stella, and I have worked out the best time to act in their 2 locations. I will watch and coordinate to ensure everything lines up together. They are both very organized and care so much about people. A pleasure to work with. I let Stella know that I will inform the people in the cells about what is happening, so they are prepared. Stella cannot lead people from both cells at the same time, and we do not want any of these people caught off guard. Using Little Sweetheart's ability again, I connect to all of the people locked in the cells and tell them all. Today, we get you out of here. Some people seem to unconsciously disregard mind communication, but it is much more difficult to do so when everyone is hearing the same thing. A few in each cell asking if others can hear me is enough to encourage everyone to listen. Excellent. It is much easier when everyone knows exactly what is happening. Mind communication is so fast. I can give everyone all the information they need in a split second and answer any questions just as fast. Some people are apprehensive. They have known nothing but this place their entire lives. They are unwilling to accept that anything could change for them. Those who have not been here very long are eager and know all about the surface. Soon, the atmosphere changes from apprehension and cautiousness to eager excitement. There are many people injured who would likely struggle to move on their own. Others are quick to volunteer, eager to help them. Everyone is getting out of here today. I hear a whisper in amongst all the thoughts. A young lady in the back corner of cell 2 asks me if she can help. Oh, she is so clever. Up to this point, she has had to be careful, hiding what she can do, only doing a little so she is not noticed. Today, she stops hiding. I explain to all the people in cell 2 that they need to accommodate this young lady so she can help everyone who needs her. The people all squash themselves away from the girl so she is able to drop down and crawl between their legs. Everyone moving as required so she can reach the people she needs to. She reaches the feet of a woman who is only able to stand because she is trapped between other people. She is barely conscious. This young lady touches the woman's feet and closes her eyes. Her hands begin to glow a small white-blue light that radiates up the body of the woman. Some surrounding people close their eyes as the light is so bright. Her many injuries, old and new, begin to heal very quickly. I explain in the woman's mind what is happening. When she has become much more conscious, she grins in her mind and says to me in her thoughts,
"Oh, yes, she has healed me many times before. Today feels even better than last time."
The young lady is so happy that she does not need to leave the visible wounds on this woman's body this time. There is no one who will notice that absence today. Even though the woman cannot move to see her, she calls out,
"Thank you, my dear."
I direct her to the next closest person in need, though it seems like she can sense such things on her own. What an amazing ability! The young lady crawls quickly, everyone shuffling position once again to accommodate her movements. She stops at the feet of a slender boy covered in bruises and scars, whose arm seems to be dislocated at the shoulder and broken at the elbow. His arm has changed colour to a greeny, greyish black. His eye looks completely red and black, no pupil, no iris. He is fully conscious and in so much pain. I explain to the boy what is about to happen, but he doesn't believe me until he feels the tingling light healing every wound from his feet up, and even then is wary that this could all be a trick or a test. I watch his arm snap back into place and turn a healthy skin colour. His eye spins in its socket. Apparently, it had been facing the wrong direction. The colour changes to match his other eye, and his vision returns. All the pain is gone. He is internally elated, but determined not to show it on his face until they really are all out of here and somewhere safe. The young lady continues through, touching the feet of everyone she can as she passes, giving them a small amount of what I would call health and strength. Every heal seems to take energy, causing her to grow more and more tired. She helps 6 more people fully heal. She is so amazing to watch. All of them are so grateful to not be in pain anymore and be able to move on their own. They are ready to get out of here. They all are. The young lady reaches the last person. He is one of the oldest in the cells. He is very tall and half fallen against the door, unconscious. His body is covered in many breaks, bruises and burns. His ankle obviously shattered and bleeding. I know this man. Stretch. We are friends. I wonder if today will be the last time I see him. This young lady is choosing to heal him, knowing she will be too exhausted to move afterwards. It takes a lot of strength and trust to make a choice to help others like this, leaving herself vulnerable and reliant on someone else to ensure her safety. I know his thoughts. He will carry her until she is able to move on her own again. She collapses on the floor next to Stretch, conscious but exhausted. When I am about to thank her, I realize she has no name. She has been here her whole life, as have most of the people in these cells. Everyone deserves a name, not just a number on a sheet. So I say, thank you, Raph. You have made this so much easier. She reacts with confusion. I continue. Rafaela. Raph for short. She smiles and says in her thoughts,
No problem.
I let Stella know that she should be at the door of cell 1 when they open, as Stretch knows what to do for cell 2. I watch the scientists in lab 3 intently, waiting for the time when... Now, Stella! Then I hear it. Stella's voice echoing in the rooms and halls.
All level 1 scientists to Eradication Room 2. All level 1 scientists to Eradication Room 2.
I watch as all the scientists leave the labs on level 1 and head towards the elevators. Stella is Mangala's assistant. When she gives instruction over the loudspeakers, everyone acts, for fear of what Mangala would do if they don't follow her instructions. This is of great benefit to us, as this means she can clear a floor of scientists or cleaners as needed. Mangala apparently likes to
keep people on their toes,
as he says, and has already given instruction to Stella on numerous occasions to
call all the scientists to MedLab 7,
or whatever he has chosen that day. Why? Because he can, and enjoys watching on the security cameras as they all travel to a different level for no reason. Provided it is a rare occurrence, Stella can do this without being given instruction to do so. Mangala assumes one of two things. Either he forgot he had given that instruction, or Stella is acting based on programming that was running on repeat. Sometimes these people they call copies have the same thoughts rotating in their mind over and over again, and when it stops, they are confused and not sure what they are meant to be doing exactly. This does not happen to Stella, but if he assumes it does, who am I to argue? I alert Cassandra in her thoughts. It's begun. She and her small group begin directing different people to various locations in order to give us the window of time we need. Little Sweetheart is in my mind and prepared to form the portals when needed. As soon as the last scientist has entered the elevator, I hear another announcement.
All cleaners to Optic 1. All cleaners to Optic 1.
The last time all cleaners were called to Optic 1, there had been an explosion, and the mess was extensive. There was no mess now, of course, but this did ensure that the cleaners would be a great many floors below, giving us the time we need. I check Mangala's thoughts. He is rummaging around in his office, not even paying attention to the announcements. He is far too concerned with his next steps in his experiments with Little Sweetheart. I see Stella hurry into Lab 3, watching the cameras to ensure Little Sweetheart has kept them directed away from her. She enters the room and lifts the white lab coat off the hook on the wall, pulling the staff card from the pocket. She then heads to the security room, unlocking the door with the staff card, waiting for my signal. Is Cassandra ready? Yes. Is Little Sweetheart ready? Yes. Are the cleaners out of the elevator? Yes. Now, Stella, I call in her thoughts. Stella flicks 2 levers on the switchboard and both cell doors unlock before she hurries to cell 1. She pulls down on the large handle to open the cell door. There are no means to pull these doors open from the inside. Stretch lifts Rafaela onto his shoulder and presses his palm to the door. His eyes close and the door makes a spark sound before swinging open. He grins.
It's been a while since I've done that.
Both cells empty, people following Stella and Stretch to the elevators. Everyone helping each other to get out fast. Some younger people and the injured are being carried. A small boy, Ezekiel, in cell 1, is waiting for some people to clear the room. When there is enough space, I watch as he lowers his head, closes his eyes and rolls his shoulders back. A low rumble comes from his chest and he suddenly grows in size. He looks like an adult, but bigger, and has massively increased in physical strength and speed. Not only does he look like an adult, but his thoughts are suddenly like those of an adult, and his voice. I knew he could do this, but watching him is just wonderful. Easy scoops up as many people as he can and carries them to the elevator, then returns for others, making sure not a single person is left behind. Stretch, Raph, and I have a quick conversation in our thoughts. He has an idea. Such a good idea. I make sure little sweetheart is okay with this plan, but she already knows and has made arrangements. Of course she has. Once we have ensured everyone knows where they are going, Stretch turns a corner and heads the opposite direction. This is a brilliant plan. Without me saying a word, the elevator is already at level 1, opened, and a portal beginning to form inside. Cassandra is standing with her small group, ready for the people to come through, ready to take them to the various locations they will need to be. This was quite a spontaneous undertaking, so there will be quite a lot of organising to do after everyone is free. Stella sends the first large group through together. 32 people, the most injured. Then we pause. We have to wait until Cassandra gives the signal. The elevator on Cassandra's end moves, and the portal dissipates. Stretch has reached the repair room and placed Raph inside the MM. He presses his palm up against the side of the MM and closes his eyes. It makes a spark sound, and light surrounds Raph for a split second, similar to the light she produced when healing people. She immediately grins and sits upright, now full of energy. I am not sure what exactly he made it do, but it didn't even go through a cycle. It just, I don't know exactly, zapped Raph back to full energy, as though she had just had an amazing sleep. Cassandra is ready for the next group. The elevator on Cassandra's end held open so it won't close and change levels. A new exit portal forms. 26 more people go through. Cassandra is ready, moving them all through where they need to go. Then we pause again. Everyone seems tense when we pause, concerned that they may not get to go through, that we may be caught before we are done. That will not happen. Everything is going according to plan. In fact, we are moving a little faster than we anticipated and accomplishing more than we expected. Stretch and Raph quickly go to each lab on level 1, with Stretch only needing a moment in each room to execute his plan. He places his hand on the machines those scientists use. Closing his eyes and grinning, he causes them to function incorrectly, decreasing in pain output. This will also cause them to give inaccurate data and ensure less injury and death of so many people. It will make it so much easier for Stella, giving her more time to help them when they are discarded. I can see in his thoughts what he is doing, but I can't really understand or explain it. It does remind me of Little Sweetheart, though. She just thinks what she wants to occur, and it does. This is the same for Stretch. He just thinks what he wants to occur, and it does. They are both so awesome. The next portal has formed, and 29 more go through this time. Stella is reassuring the last group that everything is okay, and we will have plenty of time. The scientists appear to have stopped wondering why they have been called to Eradication Room 2, and are heading back towards the elevators. The cleaners have only now made it inside Optic 1, as they had to find someone to unlock the room for them. They have just become aware that there is nothing to be cleaned. I see Stretch and Raph exit the last lab on level 1. They could leave with the others now if they want to, but they don't want to. They want to make sure all records will match the changes that they have just made, so there is no question about there being any difference. They head towards the stairs.
This is fun,
Says Stretch, beaming at Raph. Raph nods in agreement, both of them so happy to be helping people. The last portal forms, and 25 more people head through. Bye, easy. Stella and I wait to ensure that Stretch and Raph push the button one level below to make the elevator move. The portal dissipates. Then Stella hurries to place the staff card back in Lab 3, but not back in the coat pocket, somewhere else in the room. I suggest maybe on the floor behind the rubbish bin. It will look like it fell from his pocket, but should delay him just long enough. Stella quickly places the staff card behind the rubbish bin.
Good idea,
She says. Then she returns to her desk. I let her know we can't relax yet, and explain what else is happening. She starts collecting all the data records we need to dispose of. I guess something will be going to the furnace today after all. The scientists begin filtering back to their respective labs, all trying to work out exactly where they were up to in the experiment preparation. I watch Stella find every relevant record and stack them in a specific order. She is very thorough, while Stretch is manipulating the large computer to print out the very specific information. I ask Raph to stack the new records in the same order, ready for exchange. Raph mimics the grin so often plastered on Stretch's face and says in her thoughts,
no problem.
It is funny to think that not moments ago, Raph sounded like a soft whisper to me. Now she seems to have adopted Stretch's confidence and excitement at helping so many people. It is so nice to see. When all three of them are ready, Stella loads all the records in her arms and heads over to the elevator. All the scientists are far too absorbed in their experiment preparation to even notice her walk down the hall. Stella is concerned that the cleaners will exit the elevator when she is standing there, as they have not yet returned. I let her know. They aren't on their way back up yet. The elevator door opens with Stretch and Raph standing in lab coats, looking very official. Stretch has a huge grin on his face as he reaches out his hand to take the records from Stella. Stella hands her pages to Stretch, and Raph hands Stella a nice new stack of records in perfect order. Raph hits the button inside the elevator, and Stretch waves goodbye. They all exchange a knowing smile as the doors close. Stella heads back to her desk, not too fast. She busies herself with rearranging the records, and she releases a breath I don't think she knew she was holding. 112, Bright Spark! 112! I am laughing. She smiles on the inside.
So many.
She replies.
That was wonderful, Giggles. You're living up to your name today.
Only 2 more to go, I say.
Will you let me know when they are out, please?
She asks. I sure will, I reply. This all happened so fast, but now so many people are free, being helped. There is a lot of organising to do now that they are all out. Little Sweetheart knows exactly what to do. Not only that, but now the machines in those labs will function incorrectly. The scientists should not notice any difference, but if they do, the previous records from these machines and devices will match any test results that will now follow. The effectiveness of these machines will decrease at a pace that does not draw attention to their decline. The results will become useless, sparing people from these torturous activities. It will look like their methods slowly became less and less warranted, and their equipment becomes more and more obsolete. Most likely, These machines and procedures will be decommissioned due to insignificant results. Any action taken by Mangler's facility means all other facilities will follow suit. It also appears that a particular cleaner was circumvented from his planned rendezvous and lost the opportunity to berate anyone. Something about a hoax cleaning call, and one scientist appears to have been unable to attend the unsupervised experiment of a child. Apparently lost his staff card for a few minutes, but by the time he found it, his lab mate had returned from the bathroom and he was unable to leave. Stretch and Raph have finished burning the old records and are heading to the elevator on level 7. They reach it just as the door opens, a portal already forming inside. I remind them that they will need to move the cart when they exit for the portal to dissipate. Stretch is so happy to be heading home. He knows he has been gone for many years. He was taken when he was just a small child. All those who knew him are likely long gone. He is happy to go somewhere familiar, where he can speak his own language and think his own thoughts. A place where he and Raph can be free. Though he is old enough to be Raph's grandfather, they seem to be thinking of each other as father and daughter. And since Raph healed him, he looks young enough to be her father. I guess this is how they will live now, as a family. I'll miss you both, I say. Bye, Stretch. Bye, Raph. Look after each other. Stretch gives me that grin he always does, and salutes, even though he can't see me. Raph smiles and says in her thoughts,
No problem.
Stretch wraps his long arm around Raph's shoulders and they both step through. I hear Stretch say,
Valjalfachi.
as the elevator closes and moves, dissipating the portal. I let Stella know. They're through, Brightspark.
Is everyone safe?
She asks.
Are they all alive?
I laugh. Every single one.
Thank you so much for joining us with a cuppa. We appreciate your company.